Hey everyone, welcome back. We are going to be working on some more prototypes for our project. More specifically, I want to get into this cart that I've designed. So after going through, some exercises and just visual design, I've started to really have this design come together little by little. I have this that I'm pretty happy with for now. I mean, I may change it, probably will, but we have this cart screen. So you can copy these and work with me, but let me show you what I want to do today. So if I go into my cart overlay flow, what I will do is I am allowed to click this little overlay. So that is step one. So we've done a little bit of overlays. So I'll teach you how to do this. So we can either, close it like that. We can close it like that. So I'll teach you how to do that. And we'll probably add like a drag close on this whole thing. But the next thing is I want to show you how to, also drag within here. So I'll teach you how to make those drag interactions, which are really cool. So let's jump in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the whole bit of these, drag them over. We're going to call this our V2. Oops. Let's go, and there we go. So we have our V2 now. And the next step, I'm just going to just delete everything here. Well, as much as we possibly can do. So we got delete that one. Okay, perfect. So we have our options here. Now for step one, let's just get this overlay working. So what we're going to do is on click, instead of navigating to, we're going to open that overlay. And I want it to be bottom center. So we can do a couple things. We can move that in. Instead of dissolving, I want it to slide in from the bottom. So we'll slide it in like that. Ease out at 500. I'm going to keep it a little bit more quicker at 300. So I don't want it to bounce. I just want it to come in really nicely. So let's take a look. Perfect. So the other thing is, let's just go back into the overlay. I want it to close when I click outside. I can add that background behind it, and I can specify that color, that background. So when I click outside, there we go. Now I want to also specify how to close it. So if you click on the icon, you can go on click, and then you can specify to close that overlay. Another thing we can do is, on the whole item, we can just drag the destination back to there, or actually, instead of having a destination, we can click that whole item, go into interaction, and say on drag, I want to also close this overlay. So let's try this. So now I can drag it down. So you can have that whole drag interaction. It's really beautiful. And there we go. So now that we know how to use overlays pretty efficiently, we are going to get into our actual design here and this little micro interaction of dragging or swiping left to delete an item. So what I have here, it's the same item on this side. Nothing's changed. So we'll see 24 by 24. So what I have, and I'm just going to drag this item right out so everyone can see. We're going to actually, let's see, we have clip content so you can see what it looks like. There we go. So I have this hanging right off the edge of the screen. You can't see it here because the whole frame has a clip content, but like this frame. But I have this hanging off, and I have this frame, cut right to the edge. So what I'm going to do is, in this next frame, I'm going to hug that content instead of having it fixed. So I'm hugging that content. You can have it also, I think, to fill container, which will fill this container within. But I'm going to hug that content, and then I'm going to use Smart Animate to push it to the right. This one right now is to the left. It doesn't even really matter because at this point, what's happening is you can even have it on the right here. You can keep it there and then just have this fill the container. So let me show you. let's go into our prototype and select this item specifically. And on click, no, we're going to do on drag. So on drag, what's going to happen is we are going to smart animate. So let's get into it. So now that we have this, oops, yeah, that's something we don't want to do. We are not going to navigate to, we're going to swap the overlay. So let's go back. Beautiful. So the reason why we went to this screen was because we chose to navigate to. We want to swap the overlay. Make sure all your layers are named the same because we're not touching anything else here. We're just touching this one. I've already named it drag and delete. So that makes sure that it's not animating anything else like this one that says product. You don't want to give it a generic name. Anything that you're really animating, give it the name that somehow specifies it or like sets it apart from everything else. So now that I have that design and prototyped, I'm actually going to, put another drag interaction on this and swap that overlay. And instead of move in, I'm going to do smart animate and 300. So now it's going to automatically understand where that drag is coming from. So I can drag that way, I can drag that way. I can close my cart. I can click over here to close my cart. I can delete this. And so on. So that is how you create your very own cart animation, your overlay using a lot of different drag triggers within. And that is it.